All right, today we're diving deep, literally, into the world of underwater network simulation. We're going to get familiar with the exact tools you'll be using in this course to model and test communication in, well, one of the toughest environments you could imagine. So let's jump right in.
So let's start with a really big question. How in the world do you test a network that's deep underwater? I mean, you can't just run an Ethernet cable along the ocean floor. You can't set up a Wi-Fi router on a submarine. The radio waves that we rely on for everything up here on land, they're basically useless down there. So how do you design and perfect a network for that kind of world?
Well, the answer, as you've probably guessed, is simulation. But simulating the underwater world, that's not so simple. It comes with a completely unique set of challenges that we just don't have to think about on the surface. See, the heart of the problem is physics. We have to switch from radio waves to sound waves, acoustic signals. Now, sound in water travels at about 1,500 meters per second. And that might sound fast, but it is literally 1,000,000 times slower than radio waves. That creates these massive delays. Plus, the signals get weaker, they get lost, and they collide in ways that are totally different from what we're used to. So, to tackle these very specific, very tricky problems, you need a specialized tool. And that brings us to the first piece of software we're going to look at, Aqua-Sim-NG. So, what exactly is Aqua-Sim-NG? Think of it as a super specialized simulator. It's built on top of the famous NS3 platform, but it's been engineered from the ground up to realistically model everything about underwater acoustic communication. It gets the signal loss, it understands packet collisions, and it knows these networks live in a 3D space. And just look at its architecture here. This isn't just some simple model. It's a complete modular protocol stack. You've got everything from the physical layer that handles the actual sound waves all the way up through routing protocols. It even has modules for things like security and localization. I mean, it is incredibly comprehensive. Aqua-Sim-NG is really built for realism. It's a discrete event simulator, which is kind of the gold standard because it processes things one by one in order, giving you a super accurate picture of what's happening. It supports nodes that are standing still or moving around in 3D. And that high-fidelity channel simulation, that's what really makes it special. It gives you a full sandbox to test absolutely everything. Now, a tool this powerful, it usually comes with a catch, right? And traditionally, getting a simulator like this up and running on your own computer can be a huge pain, taking up time you should be spending on, actually learning and experimenting. I mean, just look at the typical process. First, you have to track down the exact right version of NS3. Then you have to clone the Aqua-Sim-NG code into just the right spot. After that, you're in the command line typing out these long, complicated configuration commands, just hoping you got all the little flags right before you finally kick off a build process that can take forever. And this right here, this is the screen you're praying to see at the very end, a successful build. But trust me, getting here can be so frustrating. It's a journey filled with weird errors and typos that have absolutely nothing to do with learning about underwater networks. But for this course, you're not going to have to worry about any of that, because there is a much, much simpler way. So let's talk about the solution. I'd like to introduce you to Afarian iPlayground, the platform that just makes that whole setup hurdle disappear. This is the environment where you'll be doing all of your work, all your simulations, for the entire course. So what is iPlayground? It's simple, really. It's a powerful lab environment that lives entirely in your web browser. It runs the full NS3 and Aqua-Sim-NG simulations for you in the cloud. And the key phrase here is zero installation required. It basically transforms this Moodle course into a hands-on, interactive lab you can get to from anywhere. The difference is it's night and day. On the left, you've got the old way, complicated, error-prone, a hog on your computer's resources, and a total time sink. And on the right, you've got iPlayground, zero install, a consistent environment for everybody, no stress on your computer, and all of your time is spent actually learning. It's also incredibly flexible. You get a full graphical desktop right in your browser, which is perfect for running visual tools like Netanim to see what your network is doing. And for just writing code and running simulations, you also get a nice, clean terminal window. It's really the best of both worlds. So, let's wrap this all up. What does this combination, a powerful simulator and a zero-install lab, what does it actually mean for you in this course? It's simple. It means you get to focus 100% on learning. You can jump right into experimenting with network logic, tweaking parameters, and seeing what happens right away. You can visualize all that complex behavior to really get a gut feeling for it. And you can do all of this from any computer that has a web browser. Your lab is now literally everywhere you are. So the final thought is this: we've taken away all the barriers. These incredibly powerful, complex tools are now right at your fingertips, ready to go. The only question left is, what are you going to build with them? What new discoveries will you simulate? I'm excited to see. Let's get started.